Welcome back to another Over the Top podcast, Championship Edition. I'm Brandon.
I'm Juan.
And I'm Nick.
And this is the Over the Top podcast, Championship Edition. Welcome back. My team won a chip today. I'm going to be a little obnoxious on the podcast. I'm not going to lie to you. It might be annoying, especially if you're not a United fan, but that's what you're signing up for. Let's get into the topics, boys. How's everybody's week been?
It's been a pretty interesting week.
Juan, how was your week? Soccer-wise, life-wise? Give me some. Give me an update.
Could it be better?
Could it be better?
I mean, last pod I did say, let's hope that Liverpool doesn't let up 5.
He literally said, let's hope they don't give up 5.
And that was as a joke. Obviously, I didn't expect that to happen.
They
but
gave up 5.
At Anfield, I did not expect them to give up 5.
Shocking. As a hater, I'm not shocked. I'm not going to lie to you.
But result.
It was an exciting game, to be fair.
From jump to start, from the jump,
From jump, honestly.
Very open, it wasn't defensive at all.
But before we get to the Madrid praise, be honest. For the first 20 minutes, were you like, oh shit, Liverpool's back?
Oh, you dragged it. Liverpool's back is crazy. It was just like, oh wow, 2 little buck-ups. All right, they might win this.
Nah, I was shitting myself.
Okay.
I was like,
a little more like it.
Darwin scoring that back heel. I was like, Darwin doesn't score goals, especially like that.
That's how you should have known it was not going to stay like that. he don't do that. But no. The back heel that was a great goal.
I mean, also, it was like it was 2 minutes into the game. It was like,
yeah, it was right away.
It was right.
And the second goal was like a goalie error.
Yeah.
That was like
Courtois, but that we got it back. You know what I'm saying?
Looking like Karius out there.
The best goalie in the world.
Alisson did the same thing basically with Vinicius.
He's looking like Karius out there.
I'm okay with that.
But yeah, same thing on the other end, and then Madrid just took over in very Madrid fashion. But it was a good game though. It was honestly the best game of the week for Champions League in my opinion, right?
For sure.
I would say best game this.
I'm biased. I wouldn't say that.
No, not ever, obviously. But I'm saying
of the week
out of the round of 16 games that we've seen so far, I think that was definitely the most entertaining by far. 5-2, a lot of good goals, high energy press. But I still feel bad for Badgetek on Liverpool. It's hard to keep up with Mudryk. Modric, Tchouaméni, and
Camavinga played well.
Got a little midfield.
I haven't watched much of Camavinga, but
let's not
he killed it.
Not talk about Vinicius. That guy is
UCL Player of the Week.
But yeah, no doubt about it.
No, he won it. Yeah.
He won it.
Yeah. He's in form.
Super impressive, his performance.
He's a baller. I can't.
He's looking like the one.
I can't. I have to finally give it up. But I'd be unbiased. I did say Madrid was my pick to win the Champions League if everyone stays healthy. And I mean, I think this just
it's what they do.
Proved where they're at.
It's what they do.
It's their competition. It's their competition. It's what they do. So let me ask you guys: do you think, because you guys are both defensive players, what do you think about Van Dijk right now? Because for a while, they were running around. He had 3 good years. People were talking about, best defender in Premier League history, whatever.
I didn't agree with that. But
what do we think of Van Dijk?
He's a solid defender, but he's just their team is just not in form right now.
I think he had an excellent World Cup.
He got Trent next to him,
but. I mean,
I still think he's a solid defender if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
His center back pairing is Joe Gomez. And,
bro. And then he has to monitor Trent
and Matip sometimes. So.
Did you see the goal that scored the corner?
Yeah.
They're playing
when they have
zone defense on the corner, bro. What the hell?
It's an 8v2 inside the 6, and they still somehow let up that goal on the corner.
I'm like, what? Why are we playing zone? What's going on in Liverpool right now? Bro?
They had
stuff like that is just I don't know.
So do you think, obviously there's going to be some changes in the summer for Liverpool. There would have to be.
Has to be, yeah.
Do you think Trent? There's a world where Trent can stay your right back in rebuilding.
Yeah, why not? He's still young.
Yeah.
I think the main issue is the midfield. I don't think really Liverpool is missing really anything else.
They got to work on Trent's defense, though. You're a defender, my G. You're not a winger. Like, your best attribute can't be going forward.
Yeah.
Sound like Chelsea's guy, Cucurella.
Yeah, Cucurella.
That's like the knock on him now, too. Like, you cool going forward, but what's going in or coming back the other way, my guy? Like, in your position.
I mean, let's not even talk about Chelsea at this point.
Yeah, but staying well, just to touch on it, staying Champions League. Napoli won 2-0, beat Frankfurt. Shout out to them. They're still just on a great campaign right now. Great year for Napoli. City tied with Leipzig 1-1. Are we expecting much from City for Champions League this year? Is that anyone's pick?
Hell yeah. What do you mean?
I'm just asking a question.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about like where they made it last year.
You have them in the final. You have them winning. What?
No, I have Madrid winning. I'm sticking
You have them
by
beating
that.
City in the final?
If they're healthy, I don't think anyone can stop Madrid.
Me neither. I agree.
Well,
I think Madrid is going to win. But
No, City.
Does anybody
we
have
saw
City?
how well they did last year, and we all like probably thinking to ourselves, if they just had someone who could score all the goals, they'd be all right. Now they do.
Holland, yeah.
So
I don't know. Madrid is hard to. It's their competition, bro. It's hard to get past them. And Benz, he's always in Champions League form.
So no one's calling a Liverpool comeback now. No one's feeling that.
At the Bernabeu? I'm not calling that.
Wait, what it was? Okay, when Barca came back to beat PSG.
That was like 6-1. Right? They came back.
Yeah, how many goals? It was 6-1.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 6-1.
Oh, okay, so anything's possible, right?
Yeah,
that was like the craziest comeback I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
actually, no, scratch that. That was the craziest game I think I've ever seen.
Darwin's not doing that.
Darwin's not. They need Luis Diaz back at least to get that. How long is he out for?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Firmino, they need Firmino as well, so if they want to do that.
Firmino's back.
Yeah, he just got back.
Yeah.
Jota just got back.
Yeah.
So
But
they're
their
going to
midfield is
lose.
still
They're not going to lose
trash,
as
so.
badly. Maybe 3-0. Maybe 3-1.
The thing is, if Madrid scores a goal, it's over.
Yeah.
But
So
I
it's
don't
over.
see Madrid losing 3-0 to Liverpool.
It's not going to happen. It's
No,
just not gonna,
actually, it
the
has
ball
to,
is round, but it's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
Hey, anything can happen, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, the ball is round. But Brandon is saying it's not going to happen. Brandon Damas, if you want to, that's not going to happen. Anywho, we have some more games. City beat Bournemouth 4-1. Arsenal won their game 1-0. They beat Leicester. I don't know why you wore that losing ass jersey today. So the top of the table is getting spicy, man. They're still, they're 2 points away right now still?
And
2
Arsenal
points
still
away
have
with a game in hand.
right?
Yeah.
And we're creeping up. We're creeping.
Look at y'all.
Yeah. look at-
Creeping.
one of the biggest weeks you guys ever had too. You're gonna just
Ever
skip
had. It's
over
crazy.
that
We're creeping.
ever.
though.
in the
He's wilding,
in the
bro.
last 5 years.
Okay.
All right.
That's maybe a little more like it.
Right. But yeah, no. Shout out to Manchester United. Barcelona, we beat them 2-1 again, 4-3 on aggregate. Great game. Like, they're showing fight again. I feel like we're back for real. Like, anytime we're either down or it's tied late, I'm just waiting for us to score. I'm not like, damn, we're not gonna score. I'm like, oh, we're gonna score. It's just eventually. I think Ten Hag has definitely restored something that the club's been missing for a long time. Mainly confidence in the team, but
Is any team
It's
gonna be
going
able
far.
to figure out how to stop Rashford?
it's impossible. I think the best solution is just call for help.
Cover up.
Just call for help. You know what I'm saying? If you see Rashford coming at you,
Double team.
just call
Call
for
for the
help.
double team.
You know, just call for help. You might have Woot open, but that's safer than Rashford.
The thing is, like, if I'm the defender, I'm double teaming Rashford before I even go anywhere near Woo.
Yeah, we'll, if I'm a defender, we're giving Woot open shots all game. We'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you credit, but at the same time,
You gonna be a hater?
Barcelona, yes,
It's not the same.
Barca without Pedri or Dembele is like a very different team.
I mean, we also won 2-1 with Pedri and Gavi.
Okay,
So,
but not Dembele though.
Yeah,
I didn't say Dembele.
Yeah, those three is like that's a big miss for a second leg, but still, congrats to Man U.
You got to beat
not
who's in
taking
front of
anything
you.
away from the win, but
Got to beat who's in front of you. But yeah, no, that, and then today with the Newcastle win, as you can see, I'm dressed for championships. Some teams can't talk about those. It's been 15 years since Tottenham has won anything at all. I believe 15. It's 15.
Yeah, I guess if we're counting.
although
we're counting. It's 15. But yeah, bro, shout out to them, man. I think this is the start of that. Yo, you remember when Ten Hag won the thing, and I think that started that era. I think that's what this is, the start of a new era. Even Alex Ferguson doesn't look pissed off when he's in the stadium. You know what I'm saying? This is the first time I've seen him smile since 2013. So I'm loving what I'm seeing. And this title race is heating up. It's a good one, but I think Germany. I think Germany still has the best title race in Europe right now. Is it a three-way tie or something?
Union Berlin and
I'm not gonna put
Bayern.
Yeah, they played this weekend, right?
And was it Dortmund also?
Dortmund's up
there. I think it's a three-way tie. But yeah, that's interesting for a league that people literally refer to as a farm league to have the hottest race right now, and no one still cares. It's crazy. But
Bayern actually beat Union Berlin today 3-0. So
yeah,
I mean, I don't see Bayern not winning that league.
Yeah, if they don't, it's them dropping. It's their league to lose. But I mean, it's still a good league.
I could see it. I could see Bayern losing the league.
To Dortmund?
Dortmund, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Tied on points right now. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility at all.
Yeah, I think.
Let's call it. Make a prediction. I'm holding y'all every week to a prediction. Who's winning the Bundesliga?
Oh, I'd still bet on Bayern.
Oh, I'm putting my money on.
Is that who you're saying?
$5 million. I'm putting it all on Bayern.
That's who you're choosing for the pod.
Yeah,
all right, so I'll choose Borussia Dortmund just to
make it
shake it up. Yeah, I owe me lunch if we win though.
We split in it.
The only thing with Bayern is like since they lost Lewandowski, sometimes I worry about the goals.
Mm-hmm.
Like now
it's not as guaranteed.
Choupo-Moting is like their center forward. Yeah. He's been doing well, but I mean, if he gets injured or I could definitely just see the goals drying up and someone else catching them.
Mine has been hurt for a while now, so
yeah.
I don't know when he's expected to come back, but
it's a big blow too.
Yeah, I want to see Dortmund win that title so badly. That'd be beautiful.
That's what you're banking on?
Do they have the depth to be able to do that,
That's a good question.
Yeah. And also Union Berlin have you seen the history behind it? Basically they were in third division.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have enough money.
Oh, they're the Jamie Vardy of German
They got
teams?
the fans to pay for the new
that's
stadium
cute.
And stuff, and then they
cool.
moved to second division, and now they're in first division in third place. You know what I mean?
Damn, I kind of hope they win it. I'm changing my pick to Union. I'm changing my pick to
I hope
Union
that happens
Berlin.
to Deportivo de La Coruña.
Yeah, I mean the only thing they have going for them is that they're not in Europe, right? Union Berlin. This is the only.
I don't think so. I think this is what they have to focus on
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that could work in their favor.
I think it'd probably be beneficial for them to lose the Europa.
They're in Europa League.
Yeah,
Union Berlin.
To just Union Berlin is
in
Europa League. Okay.
They just played Ajax, and they actually advanced to the next round. So.
Oh wow! So
they have a solid.
They're making things
two
happen.
competition, shaking it up.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Who do you guys think is gonna take home the trophy in the Europa League, though?
I'm going United.
I could see United prioritizing it, so I would say United as well. Mm-hmm. And United is deep.
Yeah, deep.
Deep.
Yes, deep.
So,
deep.
You know what I mean?
Team Bud.
Martial can't even get a kick right now, and he's I still think there's a player there.
I mean, isn't he injured? As usual.
Yeah, you never really know at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's Kawhi Leonard basically.
I think I'm gonna go with an upset. I think I'm gonna go with Real Sociedad.
Here we go.
Ay, Dios mío. This guy. lying.
Nah, either Real Sociedad or Arsenal. Either one of
Gotcha.
those two. But I think Arsenal's also focused more on the Prem.
Yeah, I think they want the Prem bad. They should prioritize
But Man U
the Prem.
should also prioritize the Prem too. You know, they're not.
We
too
need
far
to just
out,
stay
so.
consistent and prioritize Europa, in my opinion. If we stay close, we can pick up some slack where Arsenal is definitely going to drop it. If we go just based on any history. That's just in their DNA, in my opinion. Speaking of Arsenal and United, though, ahead of the Barcelona match, Ten Hag brought in like a bunch of United legends or whatever, and Van Persie was there, and then he was on the sideline commentating at the game as well, and then it just brought up like a
nastiness.
It brought up a conversation on Twitter that I wanted to talk to you about. Is he considered more an Arsenal player or a United player now? And then if we're gonna throw the legend word in there, is he more of an Arsenal legend or a United legend, or does he get that title?
You know what the sad part is? I know deep down he wishes he was a Manchester United legend. And he probably could have been if he didn't move there so late.
I was going to say 3 years later, 3 years earlier, and we can.
He didn't put enough time in Manchester United.
I agree. I don't consider him a legend for United.
He single-handedly won you guys that last title. So, that's still a big deal. And he's always going to be loved in Manchester.
And then if you do anything successful during the Fergie era, you go down as a guy, But I don't think he's a legend for United. But I think he's definitely considered more of a United player than an Arsenal player for sure. I don't know if it's because he was more successul with us, but he's definitely more considered a United player from what I've seen.
He's considered more a United fan because he gets more love from United.
And then 2 years you abandon him.
10 years at Arsenal.
Yeah. That's true.
He was literally at Arsenal for 10 plus years.
He was.
But he spent the first 6 years injured and didn't even really play soccer.
Yeah. But yeah, he's definitely more of a
he was their captain. He was their captain, leading goal scorer. He might be top 10 in Arsenal goals.
Is it?
He's probably top 10 in Arsenal goals. Might be even top 5. I'm not positive. Because I'm telling you, he was at Arsenal for a while.
He was there for a minute.
It's just the way he left.
It's the way you leave, and then what he had, how he was while he was there, wasn't super. Oh my God,
he's
this
not
is the guy.
If you bring back Arsenal legends for an event or something, I don't even think they call him at this point.
Who do you think their top scorer is?
Arsenal?
Yeah.
Oh, Henry.
Thierry.
Yeah.
Followed by
Ian Wright.
You just knew that, or are you looking at the list?
No, I'm looking at the list.
I was about to say, this guy does not watch Premier League.
Ian Wright. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Not that I really was watching much Ian Wright anyways. But.
I don't think I was old enough to appreciate him.
Nah.
Yeah.
And then Van Persie after that.
No, it's kind of funny because, Van Persie, I feel like does a lot to, try to ingratiate himself and really push himself into the United legend status when it's
I mean, when I think of Van Persie, I think of Arsenal.
I was gonna say, if you're definitely not an Arsenal legend. Why not try to cement yourself as a legend where you had success? Yeah. At least cement yourself as some type of legend. If not, it's just that flying header.
Yeah, it's
and the Prem title.
I think he's at the point of trying to talk himself into being a legend than his actual body of work. The same with Alexis Sanchez. Always finds a way to shit on United to try
Alexis
to act
Sanchez is hilarious.
I'm an Arsenal guy.
Yeah.
Even though he left Arsenal during his
for
peak
United
to join United
because it didn't work out.
And was hot garbage. Yeah. Mourinho, that move was terrible. But shout out to Mourinho, he gave Rashford the 10. That's the coach that gave him the 10.
Oh. Listen, Mourinho, everything he said about Rashford was correct.
Everything he said about United was correct. To be fair. I enjoyed his spell at the club, honestly. I do think he I enjoyed his spell at the club. I did.
He's a winner, right? He's a winner, but he's not United. He's not
No, he was never the long-term solution, but I enjoyed his time at the club. He was good for what he was. He won while he was there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of coaches can't say that.
You had your last trophy apart from today.
A lot of coaches can't. You know what I'm saying? That's true. Yeah, a lot of coaches can't say they won in their little time there.
But, I mean, how many coaches have you guys gone through in the last 3 years?
Jesus. Oh, 3 years or just...
Don't forget about Ralph. Ralph was there.
Ranić, I hate that guy. We had... Ralph and them, man.
Yeah.
We had Ralph, and since Fergie left though, we had David Moyes, we had Louis van Gaal, we had Ralph, we had Ali, we had
Mourinho.
Giggs as an interim coach or like a player coach for like 2 minutes. Mourinho.
Carrick was definitely a player coach for a weekend.
Carrick was a player coach for a couple seconds, I think, after Mourinho was sacked, if I'm not mistaken. And then now Eric, the bald savior. 10 God, my G.
Yeah, he is 10 God. What he's done in like a year and a half, I mean half a year is
10 God, bro.
It's incredible.
No 6 God. No, he's honestly the impact you have to really respect it. Like such an immediate impact is like he's clearly doing something right. And then the players have nothing but praise. You know what I'm saying? Like so.
And I was laughing at the signings. I'm not gonna lie. Like Varane going from Madrid to Manchester United, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be the worst mistake he ever made in his career. Like, we'll see. We'll see when it's all said and done.
Look how the Madrid players come back to save United, huh?
You get me?
Get Casemiro.
Right?
Yo, Casemiro is in form, and it's funny because his Madrid coach earlier in the season was questioning his fitness and energy level. And look at this guy. He's so passionate on the field. This guy is. Yeah. It's just where you want to be, man.
United got a lot of shit for buying for $70 million too.
Hey,
already.
Baby, it's paying off. Yeah. It's already paid off.
Instead of like they were like, oh, why don't we go after Frankie or something? You know, it's like he's still only 30 years old. You know what I mean? You still could have like a good solid 5 years left in him if he keeps in form.
And then you got to remember, having someone like him in the team from when you get the guy that you want to replace him is invaluable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But excuse me.
As they say, having a winner in the team is
certified.
It's a big deal.
But speaking of Casemiro, it reminds me of a quote he had during the week where he was saying in his time so far, Prem games have been harder than La Liga games, and people just took that on Twitter and ran with it like, oh, so you're saying the Prem is harder than La Liga like we've always been saying? Copy. Thanks for
Thanks for
Prem fans definitely ran with that one. But we were talking about it earlier, Nick, if you want to, what you were saying, like why you think that is.
I mean, my point of Prem games playing for Manchester United are probably harder than La Liga games playing for Real Madrid.
I mean, imagine you was playing for Tottenham, even harder, right? I had to make that shot. You wildin' today.
Why you did that?
Because you wildin' today. We won. I don't know why you're doing that.
Tottenham beat Chelsea 2-0 today. I don't know what you're trying to say.
You beat a bum side 2-0, a side that hasn't scored.
You playing a bottom of the table, mid-table team?
Yeah, mid-table derby over here.
Mid to bottom table.
Yeah, I catch so many strays.
I mean, you come in here losing jerseys. You support losing teams. I don't know what to tell you, brother.
This was a Premier League winning year. So, you know,
that team.
Let's not forget Leicester has won more Premier Leagues
West Morgan
in this decade than Manchester United.
Yo,
one.
Still better.
That's not true. Wait. If we're gonna talk about this decade, that's not true. If we're gonna talk about 2010 to 2020, that's also not true.
When did United win the last one?
2013.
Okay.
Yeah, come on now.
All right, in the last 5 years.
You know your history. But yeah, I mean, what do you think about that comment? I know he's saying it's because of the quality of the side that he's in, but do you think there's any merit to it, or it's just like he's had more responsibility than he's had in a while?
I mean, in terms of like we're talking
Casemiro,
about
his statement on the Prem.
I mean, I don't disagree with the statement. I mean, you could just tell like the difference in the level of competition between like the games and the Prem. Like every game matters. You know what I mean? Like,
so you think gameplay is
the gameplay is obviously is a lot faster than.
You think it's faster?
What, in the Prem?
I've heard people say it's faster.
I think it's faster, but I think like the difference between the teams is like this. The difference between Real Madrid and like the fourth place team in La Liga.
No. The difference between Man City and like the worst team in the
Southampton
Prem
is ridiculous.
Like this.
It's
you know
equal
it's
to
still
Madrid
a huge
and
gap.
Getafe.
You know what I mean?
But the difference between Real Madrid and the worst team in La Liga
is like this.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. It's not like Real Madrid is just like up there, man. It's just Real Madrid at this point. Like,
so is it Madrid is too good for not too good for their league, but they're so good they make their league kind of a farm league?
Yes, that's what I've been saying for a while.
So why is it that those teams can't be as competitive as Premier League teams? You guys think
money?
But I mean, Newcastle got money, but they haven't spent it yet, and they're up there.
They just bought Isak, which is Rashford's best striker, for like $70 million.
That's fair. They didn't do any crazy like bullshit yet.
Wait, what do you mean those teams can't be as good as Premier League teams? Which teams?
As competitive, I mean. Like, why can't they challenge Madrid the way like a mid-table team can challenge Arsenal on any Sunday?
That's like asking, like, why can't, if Madrid was in the Prem, like, why can't,
if like Fulham is sixth right now. Wait, some way Fulham is sixth right now.
Yeah,
that's
so
crazy.
what's
but
different
if Fulham
about
have to play Madrid, it's
still.
I think it's looking really.
So
slow
but do you think if Fulham played the sixth place team in La Liga, it'd be like competitive, or would they be clearly?
If they
like
play the fifth place team, Betis, 100%.
100% what? Like they'd blow them out of the water.
I think Betis could beat Fulham.
Okay.
I think I'm betting on Betis beating Fulham for sure.
Okay.
Like, don't sleep on it. Like, La Liga still has very, very good teams. Like,
Madrid is that much better.
The gap, like Madrid is like that much better than everybody else. And Barcelona is top of the league, but like, for instance, if like obviously you can see like Man City is like the best team in the Prem, you know what I mean? But like, there's still teams out there that have quality players, you know, in other leagues, you know, not only just La Liga, but like the Italian league, like French league, they have good players.
And to Juan's point, he makes all the time is like Europa League is like the best of the rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was still dominated by Spanish teams for a very long time.
That's very
between
fair.
Villarreal, Sevilla, like Athletic Bilbao, like they were still smoking a lot of teams. But other than that, I would love to see like Girona, who's 11th in La Liga, play against Nottingham Forest. Like I really wonder what that would look like.
That's something I'd really like to see. Seriously, like mid-table English teams and mid-table Spanish teams. That'd be like a great just to see. Even mid-table Germans team. We need a mid-table cup. It used to be Europa.
League.
It used to be
Conference
Europa
League.
Europa Conference.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is very true. I forget that's a league, to be honest.
There's every team's gonna be in Europe eventually. Yeah, it's gonna be like if you finish in the top half of your table,
you're gonna be in.
You get to play Europe.
And then if you're a Spanish team, you should be doing well in Europe.
I mean, we have 4 teams left in Europa League.
I mean, Barca hasn't had the best.
Yeah. So talk about it.
Yeah.
Premier League and the Champions League. None of the teams won.
Yeah.
How you feeling about that?
That's why that's my point from earlier in the week.
Yeah, no, Juan touched on that earlier.
Obviously the Prem is the greatest league in the world. It's the most competitive, but it doesn't mean they have the best teams in the world.
That's fair. Like, it sounds like on surface, it's just like, well, what do you mean? But like, if we're so close in talent and it's good, it's like a certain level of talent, but we're all a stone's throw away from each other or 3 or 4 players away from each other. That's more entertaining than we're all decent, and then there's 2 teams that are crazy. We're definitely not touching them. Nobody's gonna watch that. That's why nobody watches the French league. Like, there's a title race between PSG and Marseille right now. Do you honestly care?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Do you really? Why?
Oh, PSG is up 2-0.
Do you care?
No, because PSG is gonna end up winning the league.
Like, no one care. I don't care because I know they're gonna win. You genuinely care? You want Marseille to win, or what? You like shout out to Ronaldinho or something? Like, what's up?
Shout out to Messi and Mbappe.
Yeah.
So you want them to win, or?
Yeah, of course.
But do you think it's just I don't care about that league. I genuinely don't care about that league.
But
like, I'll watch it. It's football. Like, it's good soccer.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care about that league.
But I want to hear from maybe that's a biased perspective from you guys because like you guys obviously like the Prem more. But I want to hear your guys' perspective on like what do you guys think? You know what I mean? Like, what's the reason why England has struggled in the last 10 years so much in Europe? Like, do you think that they're emphasizing too much on putting too much emphasis on the league, winning the league? Like, what do you guys think it is? Like, why has England struggled for so long? I mean, aside from Madrid and Barcelona having Messi and Ronaldo, you know what I mean? We still won a ton of other trophies in Europe, you know what I mean? Like, what do you guys think?
Maybe it's just that English football doesn't carry well. Like, if you look at the way English football is played, it translates. Like, the way Spain plays soccer is a lot quicker. Like, there's a little more flair to it. Like, I don't think that just slow, not even slow, just like that very plain English football carries over well in England, in Europe. But we've done it before. Manchester and them have done, but like in the last 10, you're saying maybe that's maybe Spain football is taking, not Spain, maybe European football is taking such a jump that the England just doesn't carry over as well anymore.
Nah, I think it's like what I was saying earlier, just Barca and especially Madrid is just like such a step ahead for tournament soccer. Yeah, so I love the Champions League because somehow like the best team usually wins. Right? It's never like, oh, this team got robbed or whatever. Most of the time, and Madrid is just been a step ahead of. It just pains me to say it's been a step ahead of everyone. So it's not like the Premier League's been bad. It's just been Madrid's been that good. You know, but like, they've been in a bunch of finals. They've made it to that final game. But once you watch the finals, I mean, you could say more than most. It's pretty clear Madrid's just like a step above.
Yeah, but like let's just take aside like just in general, like even Champions League in general. Talk about Europa League. We dominated Europa League too as well. Like
Europa League's the best of the rest. It's like
but you still want mostly Spanish. Tottenham's been in it. In Europa League, Man U's been in it. Like, why have those teams that are in England that's fit, like finishing like the top 3, 4?
But to be fair, like, why have they not?
Well, I mean, if they were in the Europa League, you can still drop down. But
I was gonna say, usually when teams in England are in Europa, they're not usually in their best form, or they're not coming off their best season.
I mean, they could have gotten knocked out.
Yeah, that's probably why you
Champions
didn't get
League.
knocked out. That's probably why you didn't make it to the next round of the Champions League.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would say, like, obviously you always play to win, but it doesn't seem like Europa League is ever too much of a priority.
I mean, when you know that you're going to lose the league to City, why wouldn't it be a priority?
When you know it's crazy.
Because, like, I can look it up, but, like, there was a lot of times where, like, a lot of these teams that were in Europa League had basically no chance of ever catching up to City in the last couple of years. So, like, why wouldn't they put emphasis on, like, winning a trophy like a Europa League? And if you win Europa League, you're automatic in Champions League the next year.
I mean, who says they didn't? Maybe they just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I think I don't know. I'm of the opinion that it has something to do with I don't want to say the quality. This is the style of English football I don't think travels well.
I also do think that this phase is kind of like transitioning over to it's going to be more England dominated the next couple of years anyways. Like but it's not English coaches. The Spanish era of like winning all those trophies are like I'd say like
I could see the Spanish era of winning the Europa League trophy going away, but
not
the Champions League. I don't think that's going away anytime soon.
Yeah.
Because Barca and Madrid are like they're going from strength to strength. The way I see it, they're setting themselves out for like the next 5 to 10 years in a really good way at this point. So
that's fair. It'll be interesting to see the next, just like with a lot of English teams coming back and getting stronger. Arsenal, United, City. Well, whatever happens to them, hopefully they stay where they are. It'll be interesting to see like the next couple of years, like how the Champions League unfolds.
I mean, they're going to be adding more teams, right? That's the thing.
Yeah, so it's like if you see more English winners, or do you just see more, for lack of a better term, English losers like going out?
All right, so if we take it today from 2023 and we look at the next 10 years, I don't think
United wins 2 Champions Leagues within the next 10 years.
I don't think
I'm dead ass.
More than 50% would be English winners.
2 is going to be
United.
I don't
think over 40. 40's fair. 40's a better number. So 4 out of the next 10 wins being...
I could see that. 4 is high now. If it's 4, it's going to be like 3 United and like 1.
Yo, this guy.
1 Arsenal maybe.
Arsenal never won the Champions League.
Exactly.
Yeah. It could happen.
A lot of things could happen. The meteor could hit this room right now.
Yeah. United could drop out of the top 4.
It's not going to happen. Could happen. It's not going to happen.
We'll see.
It's not
it's
going
a
to
long
happen.
Season ahead, you know. We still got a lot of games left.
It is a long season ahead with a lot of games left, and a lot can happen. That is very fair. But that does bring me to something I wanted to talk to you guys about that Nick brought up. It is a long season, and it does take a toll on you physically, but we never really mention or think about like how it takes a toll on the players mentally. Like you pretty much skirt around it. Like we don't really care. For lack of a better term, like we don't really like this mental health thing's become like something in recent years. To be
especially
fair.
when you can log on and just abuse people.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
All throughout the week.
Football was a sport where like English fans are like breaking into your house, like yo, sign the contract. You know what I'm saying? So like we didn't really.
You're getting death threats.
Exactly, but Ferran Torres. Nick was telling us he's using a sports psychologist. How beneficial do you think that is, like, for a player? Like, as someone that played soccer at a certain level, you played college soccer, like, how would that have helped you? And then how do you think it, like, helps just a professional?
I mean, just in general, I think, like, just speaking about your career and just, like, things that are going on, like, you don't understand. As a player, you go through so many different things. Like, you might be, like, having arguments with your coach about certain things. There's so many behind the scenes things that we don't know of that he might be going through. Like, it could be family issues. A lot of these players have like maybe like family issues like Ronaldo had in the past, like recently with his child dying and stuff. And then the media played it off like, oh, like whatever, like they're not a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, you still got to perform. You know, it's like, if my child died, like, I'd be pretty disappointed, even though like he never got to meet that child. Still, and then
like in any other job, you would take time off. You know
of course. You know,
we look at them like, oh, it's just a sport.
When Ronaldo took off 2 weeks because he didn't go to training during the summer, like,
it was a big thing.
Yeah, it was the biggest thing. Preseason training.
Just to like make another point, even like you said, sharing, at least just talking about what you're going through helps. That's even hard too. Like, if they're not in therapy, like, you don't want to go complain to a friend and then you see it in the sun the next day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like, there's confidentiality stuff too. So it's like they probably don't talk to a lot of people.
And you don't also want to like speak to this about your coach too much, because then your coach can be like, oh, and like he's lacking confidence. We're not going to be able to win like the next. He's not in a good state to like perform in the next game. Like, we're starting somebody else over him, you know what I mean? And then like you're out of the rotation, and there goes your career, and then that leads into you getting
even deeper into your health. Exactly.
Yeah, so like that's a deeper and deeper hole. You know what I mean? Because like if you're already going through something, like soccer's the one thing you can get your mind off of. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like when you're going through something,
that's what's bringing you stress. That's tough.
And then like you're not even playing games. At least you bring home a fat paycheck. You know what I'm saying?
But at a point, like, it's like even like practice is kind of meaningless because it's like, I know I'm not gonna play. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it gets
you just
hard.
go through the motions.
So with that said, like it's tough for, you know what I'm saying? How would, like, in your experience with soccer, like, how would a sports psychologist have helped you out, or would it have helped you out?
I mean, just in general, like sports psychologists or therapists or any of that, like, I feel like would have helped tremendously. Like, I mean, I tore my ACL in college. Like, I went through a lot of stuff, and like just going through a major injury, like, you're like straight depressed for a little while before you're just like, all right, like, especially you don't have that support like encouraging you every day. Like,
exactly.
I mean, obviously a pro athlete has like trainers next to him pushing him, like, you know what I'm saying? But like when you play like not at a high level like that, you know, like, and you're just like a college athlete or like even high school athlete going through those type of injuries, like, you don't get the same type of level of support that like maybe somebody that's like a pro. Mm-hmm. And the reason why they're getting that support is because they're going to benefit from it at the end of the day.
That's the thing. You know, you're an investment.
They're an investment to the club. You know what I mean? So they have to. They're pushing you because like at the end of the day they invested a lot of money.
Exactly.
You know?
Like, I can't.
Is it really because of your mental health? Probably not, but like, especially that's why a lot of these teams provide like these type of therapists too, because like you're an investment to the club. You know what I mean? They just paid millions for you.
Listen, they're paying for therapists.
A therapist is like a lot cheaper. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true. How do you think? I'll spin it on to you first. How do you think a psychologist would have helped you?
I think it would help me a lot because college soccer was the first time like I was ever in my head. That's the first time I ever doubted myself. Like, confidence is a big part of sports, I think, for me anyway. Like, I had a coach like when I was really, really young telling me like, yo, don't ever get on the field if you think anyone's better than you. And he's like, there's no point. If you think the forward is better than you, like, just don't play. So I was like, damn. It's like that really stuck with me. So like I was a very confident player, and then I got to college and I'm just like, this is very different. Like, I've never played soccer like this before. It was just a very like weird thing, and then you make a mistake and you're like, damn, like I've never been in a practice that was filmed. Like, are we gonna go? It's just you get in your head a lot. I feel like if I had a sports psychologist, be like, yo, listen, you're here for a reason. Like, relax. You know what I'm saying? Like, just play, enjoy it. Again, it took me a minute to enjoy soccer. That was the first time, like, for that year or two. That was the first time, like, I didn't enjoy soccer. Like, it felt like a chore. And then, like, once I stopped playing, and then we would scrimmage and, like, just, like, play, I'm like, this feels like soccer again, like, more enjoyable. And then I played on, like, a team that summer and everything. I was like, all right, I could do this again. It's just, like, I just had a little weird spell. But I wish I would have had that spell in, like, 9th, 10th grade.
So you already, like, know how to deal with it.
Yeah, because, like, I've had, like, other stuff, like, younger, like, you got to get better. But that's just, like, work harder. That's not, like, mental stuff.
Right.
The biggest thing for college soccer, I think, is like, that's why I'm a big believer in playing with people that are older than you, you know? Because the biggest transition is like, you go from basically playing with people your age or maybe a year younger or maybe like a year older, but you're playing college soccer with kids that are like 3-4 years older than you, you know what I mean? And if they're internationals, they could be like
30.
Yeah,
shout out to Corbin.
There's some players that we played with that were like 26. You know what I mean? It's like,
but I do think that's a great point because like I played up when I was younger, so like I played at Rosedale, but they let a couple of the U16s play with the U23 team. So like that was a great experience. That's what made me think like, all right, I think I could like survive in college soccer. I'm a 16-year-old and I'm like doing pretty well. Like, all right, cool. But like I wish I had someone like that played college soccer as like a mentor. I feel like that also goes a long way. Like I didn't know anyone that played 4 years of college soccer that could like tell me anything. You know what I'm saying? Like
that definitely would have helped.
Nothing. Yeah. I didn't know like
you didn't know what you were getting yourself into.
I started like my first showcase was like junior year summer. So
late,
madly,
very late,
madly. There was so much I didn't know, and it's because like of course you're a first generation kid and stuff. So like obviously like your parents came here, went to college, and didn't come here scouted to play soccer like 9 times out of 10. So like they don't know. And then like I had 2 older brothers, but they didn't play sports or whatever. So it's just like I think if I had someone else like to just be like, yo, college soccer is just soccer, and like they explain just the ins and outs and possible politics or whatever. I feel like just that. Even like just to a heads up.
Do you think like a well-run college team that would probably be the upperclassmen?
Yeah, but ideally I'd like to know what I'm getting into first before I even meet the upper class. Because like to be fair, like where we went to school, I think we had decent upperclassmen. Like there were people that were like there for you and will help you out. Like because you know like freshman year like it was a big thing. Like you got to get a ride, and like I feel like that's like part of like coaches like like reach out like. Talk to someone like you organize your ride kind of thing. So like that's where you like get your upperclassmen or whatever. So I think we did have like a solid like group of upperclassmen. But
that was
feel
weird
like,
though.
Yeah, of course it's weird. It's like it's new.
Find your way to the field.
No, but like
the field was that far. We could have walked. Just biked there.
I did walk a lot of the time.
Yeah,
I biked myself the back way, but I liked it because it was like it forces you to reach out to your teammates and not just talk to them in practice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of learn who you like and who you'd rather pick you up and shit like that. So like that ingratiating yourself in the team like that is nice. And then I feel like when we started school, like the friends I had that weren't playing sports, I felt more acclimated to the campus and everything just because we had the upperclassmen than they did. Like they'd warn you of stuff, tell you about stuff. Don't go here, go here. Like it's just nice to. I like having upperclassmen, but I wish I had like an older brother, maybe 3 years older than me, that played 4 years of college, anything.
True.
Golf, anything.
Yeah.
But playing college like made me realize how important it is to have a coach that's always on your like has your back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like basically the whole time that like I played the youth soccer and like high school and stuff, I always had a coach.
Me too.
That like
I've always
had my back no matter what. Like I was always obviously one of the better players on my team.
And then the coach,
but like he supported me. You know what I'm saying? Encouraged me and everything. And that's like something I didn't have in college. You know what I mean? So
that too, you kind of feel alone in a sense.
Yeah.
Because like you go from like your coach, like you're cool enough with your coach, you're cracking jokes and stuff. Like that's always been my relationship with all my coaches. Like even when I go to a new team, like after a couple of practices, we're cool. If you're a cool coach, like we're laughing and everything. So like to get to college and just it be like coach, like it was weird a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then even an assistant coach is just coach. It wasn't like, I feel like even if you have like we had those player coaches that are a little cooler, but even that was still not the same.
Yeah.
Like if you feel like you got a guy in your corner, you kind of, if you move a little different.
And I also realized like how important it is for like the players to like the coach as well too. Like that's a big thing. When your players don't respect you, then that's the biggest problem. And I feel like there's a lot of college coaches out there that aren't respected by their players.
Buying in is a big thing, and if you don't respect the coach,
I like how
you
you changed it from like you to respect. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I think that's the cool part of sports is like you're gonna be with a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different places. And me personally, I didn't like a lot of them. I'm sure a lot of them didn't like me. But if we all I mean, that's fair. But if we all like respect each other and all can like agree on a common goal, then like that's enough. That was always more than enough for me. Like I never had to. I have to admit, it was better when I liked my coaches, liked my teammates. But I've also been on plenty of teams where I didn't. But yeah, when it came down to like certain teammates or coaches that I didn't respect, it was like, I feel like that made it very difficult.
Yeah.
All right, so I have two questions. In your experience, which teams that you've been on were more successful? The ones where you liked people or you didn't like them? And I have a follow-up question.
So that's a weird situation.
Just purely record.
Huh?
Just record or from what you can remember? Like
yeah, no, it's a weird situation because like the teams where I like the people and everything, we weren't playing at the highest level. But the teams did well, but we also weren't playing at the highest level. I think the teams where I didn't really get along with too many people and like maybe had a few issues with the coaches was at a higher level, but we didn't do as well. But it's also like that team would beat like the teams that I did well on by a lot because they were better. It was just a better team playing at a higher level, but we were also playing against better people, so we didn't always do so well.
All right, and then the second question, you said players and coaches you don't respect. What is it that will have you lose respect or not have respect for a player or a coach? Is it like work ethic? Is it dedication to the team and or the game itself? What to you is like, I don't respect this guy. I can't buy into whatever he's talking about. Or is it knowledge of the game?
For the players, well, for me, it always came down to winning, right? I feel like for a while, soccer was like all encompassing. It got to a point where if I won on the weekend, like I was flying high, I was gonna have a great week at school when I was in high school, whatever. But it got to a point where like if we lost, it was like that was my whole mood. I couldn't move past it. I just carried it with me until the next game. So by the time I left high school, believe it or not, there was a lot of losing. I mean, Juan knows what we've been through. And so it got to a point where like all I cared about was winning. So if you cared about winning, you were cool with me. So like the players that I could see clearly didn't, like they lost me early because it's like, what are we doing here? Like if I'm coming here, I'm not pulling. I went through a year, 2 years of getting my ass kicked basically every weekend. So like if we're going out here, I want to leave this field with a win. You feel me? And when it comes to the coaches, it's like I really realized that I have to be playing for someone that like stands on certain principles. And one thing has to be when we say this is the rule, and we're sticking to that. When you're changing it for certain people, for certain situations, that's when you lose me. That's when I realize like you're not a man of integrity. Why would I listen to you?
Yeah, it's lip service.
You're supposed to be a leader. How can you lead if you don't if what you say doesn't matter?
Yeah.
If you say the bus leaves at 8:00, if anyone's late, we're taking off without you, or you're not playing, then how can 3 people come 10 minutes later and they start? You know what I mean? How can that happen? How can we set out rules in the beginning of the season, people break them, and there's no repercussions? When I see that, that's when I see there's no structure, there's no
and that's fair. That's fair.
So you lose me.
Especially when you're like in college, like a lot of teams like have like either a dry season or like 48-hour rule or something like that. And don't get me wrong, you could still be an amazing player and like drink as much as you want, go drunk to the game, probably play amazing. But, if a rule is set, you know what I'm saying, it's expected to be followed by everybody. You know what I mean?
And then, okay, so like I think I have a kind of different experience than you guys in terms of just teammates. So like I really put a lot into teammates. Like I like if you're my teammate off rip, I'm trusting you. I'm trusting that we're invested the same way until you prove me otherwise. Right? So like, and then I also didn't lose a lot coming into college. Like we were, because we played together forever. So like we were rolling. And then the team I went to was a college showcase team. So they were good. I slipped into defense perfectly. There's no problem. So like I didn't do a lot of losing really. So to get to college and then like have like that losing, I was kind of like out of it. Like, fuck, what is this? Like, oh my God. Like how do you, I've never had to like deal with a losing season. Like it's weird. And then it's aggravating when you have no effect on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like if I was playing and losing, I could be mad at me. If I'm watching y'all lose, y'all losing, which is a terrible thing, but I've never had that experience. So like when you say like teammates, that would affect me too. Because I'm like, bro, like if we're teammates and we set out a rule, you and I are on the same team, like that means a lot to me personally. Right. We are teammates. So if we say, yo, no drinking 48 hours before a game, I'm not even questioning that. Yeah. I'm not even going to think that you would even consider drinking 40. We both wrote these out. We agreed to it as a team. So, like, to see someone not follow it, that would kind of, I would expect us to hold them accountable. Like, I would expect, like, if it's one person, 21 players, like, you're bugging, bro. Come on, son. I wouldn't expect it to be, like, 12 players, like, nah, me too. You know what I'm saying? But I've never experienced it. I don't know if you guys have, but, like, I haven't or maybe I didn't know about it, but like I don't. It would that does cause like fracturing in the team.
Oh
like,
yeah,
lack of structure does not go far. Yeah, I've been on teams where like the coach wasn't structured, but like the players were structured enough because they've known each other long enough to where it's like we're never gonna overstep, even though we can. We know we can with a certain coach. We're not going to. Because it's not beneficial for the whole. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't, that's why I was saying that, like, buying in is really big. If you don't respect the coach, you can't buy in.
Of course.
And then you don't have anybody. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, for me, with a coach, respect goes, like, it sounds a little snobbish, but I got to respect, like, your soccer IQ. Like, if I don't think you get soccer or, like, play it right, like, it's going to be weird for me to do what you're telling me to do.
That was also one of the biggest transitions for me, too, as well, because I went from being like, I played with Nick my whole life, and like we went from basically being on a team that was like kick and run to then like going on to a team that actually played good soccer, and we did lose, but we played good football. You know what I'm saying? We moved the ball around, and
we lost in style.
Yeah, exactly. And then we go to college. You know what I mean? And the style of play basically goes back to like what we started with. You know what I'm saying? So then I'm just like, kind of like, what the freak is going on? Because I feel like when you move up, you know what I'm saying, you're supposed to be able to like play actual more soccer, but it becomes more like kick and run, you know what I mean? And just like way more physical, you know? So just like there's so many different styles to this. And then when you have a coach that says like, oh, I actually want to play soccer, but like we go to the game, and the first whistle is just bombing the ball up, like you're just like, what the freak is going on? Like,
But it's funny that you say that, because like I also, it goes back to the point where I said I wish I had someone that played 4 years of anything before, or maybe soccer specifically, but maybe basketball even, because like I was assuming like, oh, I'm going to college, this is a stone's throw away from professional. Like the style of play is going to be like what I've always kind of imagined it should be. Like we're going to be moving the ball immaculately. Like the passing in the back is going to be crazy. I could play my midfielder. I'm going to have a solid holding midfield. We're gonna like I'm thinking we're going to be knocking ball. And then like you get there and it's kind of like, oh, like college doesn't mean like everyone's amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's like also like I always thought like D1, 2, and 3 meant like, oh, D3 you're trash, D2 you're whatever, D1. There's like not a lot of difference like in terms of just like D1 players fall D3 all the time because of money or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like there's so much that goes into it. I think you need, like, if I had a little cousin or anyone that was like serious with soccer, like I'd have been speaking to them from like age 13 just to get them ready for it.
Yeah. If you're really serious about soccer, you have to go like top D1 programs, because like all the other programs are if you really want to go pro, go to the top D1's programs.
Go to Europe.
And Europe too. But if you want to make it pro, I'm talking about in the U.S.
MLS, go to the draft and things like
because
that.
all the other colleges are just a distraction.
know there was a draft.
It's a distraction
for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a distraction from soccer. You know, like there's too many distractions in college. Like and too many people with different mindsets. Not everybody is playing college soccer to make it pro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or come close to making it pro. Like there's people that just want to play a sport and enjoy their college,
and that's can't knock them. That's amazing.
That's fine. You know
Some
what I'm
people
saying?
just want a free education. I'm here on
that's
scholarship. This is my job, and that's it.
Yeah,
cool, brother. I respect that. But in that, everyone, whatever your reason is, your reason. But we all have to buy in at the end of the day. I feel like that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, if you want to be on a successful team.
You know,
but that's what it says. I could tell you cared much about winning.
Yeah, I don't lose at anything. But we had like no. Like I have like a weird thing about like not that I don't lose. Yeah. I don't like to lose. That shit pisses me off. Like I don't like when I was playing like intramural. If we lost, I cry. I don't like to lose, bro. Like we played. They had like Jeopardy at work the other day on Teams. I was going mad hard. Like we won, and they're like, "Damn, Brittany, you know." I was like, "Yo, I'm guessing," but like they're like, "Yo, who won the first women's?" Me and Ham. Like yo, like I was going mad hard, bro. Like I don't like to lose. So like you saying like if someone just doesn't care about that would absolutely make me lose respect for you over. Why are you playing? What are you even playing for if you're not gonna like try to like what are we playing for?
That's where I'm at. And losing, like for me,
that should piss you off.
That,
like, I can't get on a bus and laugh after we talk
about
loss,
like a sports psychologist or whatever. Like sometimes I'm thinking too much now in my like grown age, right? A lot of things I'm like, oh, I wouldn't take this in so seriously. I wouldn't, but like a young developing mind, 18 years old, like you're emotional about certain things. Certain things
is 2020.
Yeah, you're not thinking very clearly, and losing made me like think very unclearly.
And you're immature.
Because the teams I was on, it was always like I feel like the coaches gave me a lot of responsibility. It was like, oh, you're one of the better players. Like when we win, I'll give you your props, but when we lose, like. It's kind of on you.
And then to like the way that affects a player negatively, now you're thinking when we lose, like I did my job. Like if you're a confident player, you know the coach is giving you. No, I'm saying some players are like this. Like if the coach is saying like, yo, your job is X, Y, and Z. Do you have kids that are like, I scored 2. What did y'all do? We lost 3-2. What happened in the back?
No, but thankfully, rec soccer, I always think about my 2 coaches were like probably 2 of the most competitive coaches I've had in my life. And they started me young. Was like, no, we're winning. You know, rec soccer's like, no, everyone gets a trophy. We get orange slices. No. These 2 men were like, oh, no. I'm keeping score. Yeah. There's no scoreboard out on the sideline. I'm going to tell you.
It's 4-0.
Yeah.
This is about winning.
We won 10-0 today, guys.
Yeah, you know who my coaches were. They didn't play around with that shit. So, like, I never looked at it as like, oh, I scored 2 today, but we lost, so I did my job. At the end of the day, it was like I was taught to win, right? So losing, like, I held. Instead of like ever stepping back and realizing there's 11 people on this field, maybe it's not all my fault. I was like, oh, well, if we're losing, obviously I'm not playing well enough, so it just pushed me to like, oh, let me train harder. Let me, it kind of pushed me more in that direction where probably a psychologist at the time probably could have helped me realizing it's not you. You're not the reason the team is losing. You know what I mean? But that's the way I took it at the time.
I don't know. I think when I was younger, I was good at like discerning like if we lost, like okay, we lost as a team. Like okay, you missed this goal. It's not your fault. But if I played badly, oh my god, I was thinking about that shit till Thursday, Friday, till the next game. So I'm like, oh, I'm locking up whoever this week. Like if I personally played badly,
so you
like,
held it like that entire week.
Yeah.
See, luckily for I you didn't do that much losing because that would have been tough when you hold it the whole week.
But if I played badly and we win, it still held it. Like if I play poorly, like that's a problem.
Right.
But
you're like the forward who scores like the team wins 6-0, but you don't score and you're in the locker room tight.
Forward, no, I'm not gonna lie. If I was a forward and we won 6-0 and I didn't score, I'd be sick.
Good game, bro. Good stuff.
No, not at my teammates, at myself. Like I'd be tight still. Like we won, but like, bro, a team lost 6-0 and I couldn't win 1. Like yo, I'd be tight. But I mean, I really like this conversation. I do think a sports psychologist is. It does wonders. I've never had one, but I just assume it would do amazing.
Yeah, but for anyone younger out there who's listening and thinking about like playing in college, it sounds pretty obvious, but at the time, I could admit I probably didn't do as much as I should. But like, really look into the programs, really study the programs, figure out what you're getting yourself into, because it is a big decision. It's 4 years. It's not just like, transferring in college is much easier than it was.
No, but it's like a lot of the time.
But a lot of people don't want to transfer.
Yeah, it's where you stay. Especially if you're playing in a sport. By the second week of the semester, you've made friends. You're probably gonna. I was cool with Chad the second week of the semester. We're still cool.
We weren't. That's not true.
Were we not?
That's a story for a different day. That's not true.
Oh, that's true. Yo, we weren't cool for a while. Actually, that's my fault though. But we'll talk about that. But maybe we should like do like a little segment on just like
how
tips.
Our experience.
No. Tips for college soccer.
Yeah, tips for college soccer.
What would your
experience?
What would your
Recruiting
advice
process,
be to like a upcoming? Because even if I saw a YouTube video like this junior year, like it helped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
course.
we should definitely like consider doing something like that.
What's the best ways to get recruited for college soccer? In terms
like
of
a little side series.
Well, the best ways to get recruited, and how do you know a school is going to be a good fit for you?
That's a really big one.
Because that's the
because a lot of kids are like, I got an offer. Now I'm just gonna pick from offers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta
go on visits, actually watch the team play.
I literally had a visit set up after the visit for our school and didn't go because I liked the visit at our school so much.
Yeah, but you should have still went.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I
might have had a better experience.
Exactly. And what if that coach told me something different? Or, you know what I'm saying?
Catch the vibe, because the coach will tell you anything.
That's their job. Oh my God!
The coach will tell you anything.
If he wants you,
if you're a good player, he will tell you anything
really
to get you to that
They're
school.
really good at that.
And then the second you show up, they're like, yeah, we don't really do that here anymore.
And then I know this guy, the guy that I went on my visit with. We didn't know each other, but like we live in the same neighborhood, kind of. So like we ran into each other after that, like playing pickup soccer around and shit. And he went to Howard, and he was like, "Yo, like the guy that that coach, like his lip service was crazy, but the Howard coach was spitting that game at me, boy. Like there was no way I was going up there." And I was like, "No, I feel you." But yeah, no. I think that would be a really good little series to do, even if we do like a quick like 10-15 minute video.
I feel like this is gonna go on for like at least an hour. I have a lot to talk about. We can start even from like
segments. Yeah, so we
can
do
go from like high school, or even middle school. You know what I'm saying? Like what teams to be playing for in order for you to get the best
you got to start thinking about it.
Looks, because like
absolutely,
and like basically one
showcase teams,
when players,
academy teams, absolutely.
When players like should be like most players are already committed by like the end of their junior year, already committed. So there's a lot of teams that like don't have any leftover money.
And if you want to go pro, we can get
that
some
older brother advice that you wish you had.
Yeah, exactly. We wish we had.
I have friends that went pro. Like I can see if they'd be willing to even be like, "Yo, if you want to go pro, like here's a couple tips. If they want to be on camera, if they want to send it in or whatever, we should definitely try to make that a thing."
I agree.
No, but that was a longer segment than I thought it would be on the mental health. I guess it really hit.
Yeah, as you can see, we all went through a lot.
Clearly,
we've been through things. We're trauma bonded.
Yeah,
clearly, I think it's soccer and trauma that this friendship is built on. I didn't realize it, but
but talking about like America and soccer, the MLS is back this week. So
St. Louis won their first ever MLS game. Shout out to them. They have a new team. Odd city to just start a team in, but I mean, if they have a fan base, sure, why not? I think Vegas should get a team.
You think Vegas needs a team?
Yeah, they have a football team. They might as well have a real
Next thing you know, there's going to be 40 teams in the MLS. Come on, we already have 29?
Vegas or Arizona? You know America loves a 30-team league.
Yeah.
32-team league.
32-team league.
16.
Yeah.
32-team league. They
East,
love it.
West.
Will they ever get rid of the MLS playoffs and just actually have a league like every other world?
If soccer becomes serious, yes.
Relegation in America?
Yeah.
Hell no. Are you crazy?
Why? Because it's
in
not
a world,
enough money?
No, in a world where tanking is okay, like in a country where tanking in other sports is okay, the thought of penalizing people for coming dead last, I feel like would sound crazy to them. But for us, it makes sense. For people this is so off topic. People tanking for Victor Wembanyama. That's not a thing in the Premier League. You're in the championship now. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of incentivizes winning. relegation is like, I don't think America's ready for that yet.
From a country that gives out participation trophies.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't think they're ready for that. Yeah.
No, but the whole thing is like the Super League, right? The whole idea of that was like, so you franchise teams so everyone makes money no matter what. Mm. That's what the MLS is. Like, could you imagine if the Red Bulls like got relegated 2 years in a row, and then now they have a stadium they can't pay the bills for, and then they got to foreclose and shut down that whole thing?
You weren't successful enough.
But how do other countries figure it out?
Huh?
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. You get like, money to win.
All right, you can't tell me like the Peru team, like Peru League. You know what I'm saying? Has more
What's
money.
What's the name of the Peru League?
I don't freaking know.
El Peru
has more money than MLS.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
They still have a relegation.
You know what
the promotion.
I just don't think America's ready for it.
Yeah, but
Colombia, like countries like that,
but people are putting money into the MLS teams. Billionaires are buying MLS teams because they know like money's gonna come back.
Yeah.
If they knew that there's relegation, whatever, in 2 years, my team could be worth like
they'd
half
run
the
it
price.
Properly. Then they'd run it like they run
then
their
no
other
one's,
businesses.
No one's buying an MLS team.
No, they would just run it like a business.
I mean, I don't
You're
think any MLS team
like
is profitable.
Mm-hmm. Only in America can you lose and still make money.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, no, it's not supposed to work like that.
Can't you just start an LLC and declare bankruptcy anyways?
Hey, if you listen to Twitter,
that's the perks about living in America, right?
Listen to Twitter, that's what you can do. But
OTT football coming soon.
Hey, y'all want to get the
football
OTTFC? OTTFC?
Yeah.
They're going to know our game plan on crypto over the top.
we got to start in Vegas.
we got to do tiki-taka OD. They can't know what's in the title.
So who do you think needs an MLS team?
Yeah, where would you put one? Juan the billionaire has all the money in the world. I'm opening up my MLS team here.
Probably
Miami's already taken.
Maybe one of the Carolinas, maybe.
I like that.
Ooh,
I like
you know
that.
that's not a terrible fucking.
A lot of people are shooting down to the Carolinas.
Yeah. I was looking at the map. I'm like, all right, the Carolinas don't look bad.
And they love sports.
Yeah, because I'm definitely
soccer is big. Nah, boy, that's a good.
Like Duke, North Carolina, ACC
so there's
soccer.
3 spots left in the MLS. I could see Carolina definitely getting one.
That's a really good one. The North Carolina Surge. I don't know why I said
North Carolina or South. You know,
one of them.
It's gotta be just Carolina, like
the
Panthers.
Want to put the name. Where would Nick the billionaire put his team? Don't steal Arizona or Vegas.
Man, I want somewhere obscure to get a team. Though.
Alaska.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Hawaii. Hawaii MLS team.
Logistically, dog.
It takes like 6 hours from LA to
get. They're all gonna be jet lagged when they play us. It's easy.
Easy W. But when you play away, that's
that's gonna be a struggle.
Exactly. And then they're not gonna get on the time zone when they're traveling for their 6-game away. Okay, so where would you put a real team? Not your FIFA team.
Can I show some love to the Dakotas?
You the only one.
You're gonna be the only one in the stands.
Sure.
I mean, obviously. Not gonna happen, but I'd like to see Idaho get a team.
Be real, son. Be real, son.
What about Michigan?
All right.
What's the capital of Idaho?
Well, Michigan is a big
Boise.
Michigan is a big
Boise
sports
State, right? There's football. Yeah.
Michigan's a big sports state. You get Detroit,
Iowa. No, probably Louisiana. Louisiana needs a soccer team.
That's not bad. The Louisiana Jazz
down in the swamp.
Yeah. The Louisiana Jazz or the Louisiana
Jazz. Come on, you can't do that.
The Louisiana Cajuns. Yo,
Louisiana Haitians sounds pretty fire too, though.
Louisiana Haitians is crazy.
Not as crazy as the Brooklyn Italians.
The Louisiana Crawfish or something like that.
I'm just realizing that I played against them my whole life. What the fuck?
That's a crazy team name, right?
Yeah.
Nah, Brooklyn Italians is wild. I got in my first fight against that team ever. First time I ever punched anybody in the face was against them.
Did they call you the M word?
Yeah. That's kind of wild.
There's a couple M words, I guess.
Oh man. But I'd put so Michigan. You put your team in Detroit.
Nah, I like. Ooh. Detroit.
You said Michigan and forgot
that economy is not doing too hot.
It's not, but you could get a stadium for the low and then bring money back to the city.
Why not?
I bet. So
Detroit, you could probably get like a stadium in Detroit for like $100,000.
By the time you get that built, like that city will probably be rebuilt. You know,
you're good. And then they'll probably give you tax incentives to build there and everything. That's actually a good like business move as a billionaire. But I would look
Louisiana.
I'd look at Louisiana.
Not gonna lie.
Louisiana. That's a good one.
What about you, B?
I'd look at Arizona or, like I said before, Vegas. I don't know why Arizona. I feel like just like the culture down there would be perfect for a soccer team. And then Vegas is just Vegas. It's Vegas. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's coming out to the games, but it's Vegas. I think Arizona would be a good soccer state, though.
Mm-hmm. If you're not in like the hottest part of the state, I feel like that'd be perfect.
Yeah, I don't want it to be like
because MLS does play through the summer, right? So like some parts,
which is a little weird.
Yeah, there'd have to be like a water break every like 10 minutes.
Yo, did you guys ever play in like Florida and have water breaks? I never did it, but there was like a couple summers in New York where there was like heat waves. What do you mean,
bro? At Fort Dix we had water breaks.
I've only ever gotten 2.
In Jersey we had water breaks.
I only ever got 2. And it was so weird. Like they stopped and our whole team was like what happened? And the ref was like, oh, like you guys can get water, and we were like it's halftime? He's like, nah, like go get water and come back.
That's not the craziest thing that
happened.
We were laughing
though. We were like, yo, this team is soft, bro.
You could ask Juan. The craziest thing I've ever seen is when we were playing soccer and we were playing so badly and our coach was like, timeout. Timeout. And the ref blew the whistle and everyone started walking to the bench. I was like, wait, what just happened? Modified soccer, bro. You could call timeouts.
I'm talking about 2, right?
Yeah, you had timeouts.
I didn't know it was
forced to wear the foam.
You remember that? I had that. I remember that. Yo, my mom used to find that so funny. She used to come to the game and just laugh at it. I'm like, yo, you can't do that.
But no, a lot of those kids, I could definitely see running into the post.
What was the wildest like high school soccer rule you remember? Or did y'all play academy so you couldn't play high school?
That was only our last year.
Yeah, that was 1 year.
Okay. I remember one of the ones I hated is if you get a yellow card, you got to step off the field for like
Oh, that was a thing, right?
Until the ball goes out again.
You had like a 5-minute timeout, like in the box, like for hockey.
That used to piss me off because I'm like, son, I'm racking up the yellows. You know that. But the step off for one play is so stupid. Yeah. And then I remember one time I got a yellow card for asking the ref. I was like, do you know what you're doing? Straight yellow. And then, so like, I'm just like, really? So I'm backing up, like looking at him. He's like, don't look at me. So I literally was like, and started backing up to the sideline, red card.
The thing that I hated about high
school. And I got called into the athletic director's office that Monday. He's like, so you got a red card. What was that for?
Yo, how many red cards you got?
In life?
Yeah. How many you got?
I have a red card on YouTube.
We better bring that up.
Insert clip here.
We were getting smacked by Manhattan PSG, and I was pissed off.
Oh,
and I was just
we've all been there.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm over it. I had a yellow. I went into the tackle knowing this was going to be another yellow. Got the red and was like, what? Really? Took my shirt off and got off the field. I was sick.
Is that the one on YouTube?
That's the one on YouTube.
We better pull that up.
We're not gonna give you hints, but if you can find it, shout out to you. I'm not gonna tell you the team I was playing for, but I was playing against Manhattan PSG. Any other red cards? I have yellows, but I don't really get reds like that. I don't really get reds like that. I got a red. I got that red for talking in high school.
Yeah.
No, I think those are my only 2. I don't really get reds. I'm a yellow guy. No. I'll give you, like, if it's a forward that I need him to know, like, I'm going to be here all game, I'll start the game with a hard tackle. Like, yo, it's not going to be an easy game. Yeah. But, like, I don't mind the professional yellow. I'll take a yellow all day. But I don't get a lot. I barely have gotten reds. Do y'all get every yellows? I feel like you get talking. Not even talking.
I got a yellow every game.
Tell them about your red cards, Juan.
Cards? You got a lot
Damn,
of
which one?
Knocking up the documents.
Which one?
It's just one. Well, I definitely know a game ended because of Juan.
Yeah.
I had a game.
I didn't even get a red for that. They just ended the game. They were like, yo, the game's over.
I had a game end because I slapped the kid, though. Like, he, like, had, like, one of my teammates, like, in a headlock. So, like, broke it up and slapped him, and then everybody was, like, fighting and shit, and then the game just ended. I think we were winning, though, so.
Yeah.
Yo, LIJSL games used to end like that. Just beer fights and say, yo, game done, yo. Like, whoever.
That was like the first game on varsity that I had. Like, we ended up getting in a brawl, and I was like, "Yo, this is varsity soccer."
Growing up,
this is like MMA, bro. Yeah.
Growing up, like our first like team fight was like U13. It was just so like, it's just a lot of tensions in downstate New York. Let's leave it at that.
I've been on the same team as Juan since we've been like 10, right?
Yellow cards and
he's probably been in like 2 fights, team fights. All of them happen when I'm not there.
Damn.
All of them would happen when I'm not there. Except the game that ended, I was there for that. Juan just got at someone's chest, and that kid like.
What's the craziest fight?
He ended that kid.
You seen or been a part? Not seen.
In soccer?
Been a part of.
Oh, that was. I mean, I was not part of it. Like, this is the one time I was like the peacemaker.
No. When I say a part of, I mean like your team was in it. You ain't hit nobody. You didn't have to hit anybody. Your team was just a part of it. Like, I was playing in this game.
My first ever like game for varsity as a sophomore. Like, we were in a scrimmage. We were scrimmaging. I don't even remember what team it was, but like all of a sudden, like one of my forward just got into one of the defenders, and like all these like I played with on a team that like all the kids like there was 3 kids that were like. Like cousins on the same team, you know what I'm saying? So one of them got into it.
Gang.
So then like two other kids went into it, and then like his boy, like 3 of his boys went into because they were all friends, and then like I'm in the back like because I was playing defensive center mid at the time, and I'm in the back just watching the whole thing. And I was just like, yo, what is going on? Like, people, like, I'm not even talking like haymakers. Like, yo, they beat the freaking brakes off these kids on that other team. Like, they were kicking them. Bro. And honestly, somehow they only got suspended like 3 games. And I'm like, yo, somebody could have literally died. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even joking. It was bad.
Bro, it got to be like a top 10.
Huh?
For fights that I've seen and been a part of.
Wait, let me ask you something, B. Because I know you're a wild boy.
No. You've been in LIJSL is a wild boy.
Yeah, likely story. But let me ask. So, if your team gets in a fight, it's up? It's always up?
No.
Not
always. It depends.
So let's say.
I'll give examples. So, like, we have a guy. We had our left back, Michael. He, like, our left back and our right back ran track. So, that was lit. But our left back was brolic, like for his age, and he was always taller than everybody, so he was always trying to fight. So like if somebody said something crazy to him, like his trigger was like your mom. If anybody said anything like that, it's up. So like with him, it was always like a like hold him back kind of thing. So like one of the wildest things I ever seen was like I saw the fight like about to happen. Like I saw the tackle and I saw the kid about to get into Michael's face. So like as a center back, like I went over to like defuse it. So like I'm here and there, here and here. And then, like, he said some shit, like, some wild shit about his mom. And I was like, ooh. And then I was like, I was trying to calm him down, and I was like, nah. I just backed up. I was like, he gonna hit him. I know he gonna hit him. Yo, it's the 2 fastest hits I've ever seen in my life. He hit him in the chest for some reason. Like, he got hit here, like, caved chested, and just duffed him in his jaw. Son went down, and I was just like, oh, bro, the whole time, it's like having a slow motion. I'm just like, it was crazy.
Woods got knocked out.
But did anyone on their team step to him?
No.
They were
like I said, Michael was bigger than everybody. Like he was like abnormally big for our age. Like we're 13 and he looks.
There's always
18.
that one kid.
Yeah.
There's always that one
like,
kid.
Like he got a beard before all of us and everything. And then fun fact, I'm pretty sure like we're all like his height now. He like wasn't crazy tall. It's just like he just got like his adult height. Like
I feel like that's kind of like me. Like, I was always
just
tall,
mad
you know
big.
what I mean? I was just bigger than everybody else.
But like I had another friend like Donovan. Like obviously he's our height now too. But Donovan was like shorter when we were younger. So like if you were to press him, it's up. Like the whole team.
What do you mean our height though? We're not like close to the same height.
When I say our, I'm talking about me and Juan.
Gotcha.
But but like if you were to press D, like it's up. Like, that was fun. It was like, oh, you're gonna press the smallest kid.
Okay.
Oh, bet now we're gonna beat
now
the shit
I have to
out of
ask you. We all may or may not have played college soccer together. If there was a fight, is it still up?
Okay, so like I didn't think it would be. We were in we took a trip. We had Buffalo and Fredonia, a back-to-back. And the center back got punched in the face by the goalie, and I was on the sideline, and I never gave a fuck about the center back before that. They hit son, and I was like, yo, I'll kill that nigga. Like we can really brawl. Like if it was a team brawl, I would have been with it because I'm like, that's crazy. You can't hit my teammate. Like that was the first time I was like, oh, I'm still a teammate. Didn't realize.
Nah, not I. There's a couple people that I played with that I could see doing or saying some foul shit.
Yeah.
And if they,
you
know what I mean?
It depends on
depends on 2 things.
If you said some craziness to someone else, that like,
yeah.
I mean, I still got to defend you. But if you said something that might offend me, then you got to handle your business. No, if you're sitting, you got to handle that. Because now I'm on Sunside.
To me, it depends, like, first of all, who the person is on the team. And second of all, like, the situation and scenario, like, what happened. You know what I mean? Like, if you run some foul stuff, shit, like, then that's your fault. You know what I'm saying?
And if you can handle yourself and you started it, I'm going to try to diffuse it. If somebody's starting it with you and you can handle yourself, I'm going to try to diffuse it. If somebody's starting it with you and I don't think you can handle yourself, or I think this person's picking on you, it's up.
Yeah.
Or like if they're trying to sneak you or something. Because like one of my best friends, I played center back with like my whole life. Like this is my man's 50 grand. So y'all met him. Mm-hmm. There was one game we were playing at Fort Totten where he's like having words with a kid, and the kid's friend is coming from like behind him to like sneak him. So I'm like, nah, we're not doing that. So like I had to like intercept it, but like. It's not because he couldn't handle himself. Right. He about to sneak the man. Like that's dangerous at that point. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But like I take teammates very seriously. If you're my teammate and you get into something, I'll help you out and ask questions later. But like if y'all have context and whatever.
If I'm watching, if I see like say someone on the team like just spit on someone.
That's a little crazy.
I mean? Like
spitting is one of those things where you're on your own now. You made that decision. Like spitting on somebody, like
spitting in someone's face, like.
Face is outrageous. I had somebody spit on my
jersey. I've seen it. One of my teammates did it.
I had somebody spit on the back of my jersey as I was walking away, and we beat the shit. We had a time in Hempstead that day, boy. I still remember that game. My parents were tight. Like the whole crowd was like, "We fight him? What's up?" Like everybody was tight. That was a good game. Man.
So B's ride or die for his teammates.
Absolutely. If you're my teammate and you're in something, like I'm with you. I'll ask questions later. If you spit in someone's face, you got to fight on your own. But I'll make sure you're not getting jumped at the same time. Like you can shoot the fair with like whoever you spit on. That's outrageous. We'll talk about that later. But if they're trying to jump you now, we're not doing that. You're not. Come on.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting if they added like fighting to soccer, right?
That is crazy.
That's what America wants.
How hockey has like that, sit down for 3 minutes. You need to cool off, buddy. Like in soccer
players aren't like that anymore. If they were going to do that, it would have been the 80s.
You're right. But I'm just
when the tackles were like crunching,
soccer players would actually
Ferdinand
squabble up.
Ferdinand would done up, boy, bro.
Slap
beer
on.
def us.
Because there's so many, all the soccer players push each other, try to act tough.
I feel like Lissandro Martinez, beer def us. I feel like he's handing out def us, bro.
Zlatan, maybe.
Oh, Zlatan.
He's a black belt. He might kill somebody. I don't think he should be able to fight.
He's legally not allowed to.
A jiu-jitsu black belt.
Rudiger.
Yo, I feel like he might kill somebody.
Yo,
I feel like Rudiger might squabble a little bit. I feel like Rudiger might give it up. Damn, that's a good question. Like, who of the modern era would really get into something?
Because most of the people, it's like, all right, I'm going to push you, but I know you can't. If you hit me, like...
I think Casemiro might slap somebody like, yo, like, what's wrong with you? I don't think he'd punch somebody in the face.
I don't know why. I just love to watch what Sergio Ramos would actually do. Because he's like the number one instigator I've ever seen in my life.
I feel like he'd either be like, yo, or he'd be like Puyo crazy. Oh, speaking of Sergio Ramos, you just reminded me. He just was retired involuntarily.
Yeah.
The coach was just like, yo, we're not going to be picking you. So
it's not part of the future plans, apparently.
Yeah, so he just retired. Like, I guess I don't play no more.
Yeah, but
it happens. He's like what?
No, it
30,
happens. He's old, but damn, like
maybe?
Sergio, he won you a World Cup. Like that's how you give it up to him.
2 Euros.
You know,
I mean, he has everything already. It's cool that he still wants to continue. I think that's always cool. The people who really have pride in like representing their country.
Yeah, like and he bleeds red and blue.
I think there's only been a few players I've seen that really say like I'll go. I'm going until they stop calling me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is for my country. Well, not like. I feel like it's more in vogue now to retire from the national team.
If I was a professional, I think I'd do that. If Jamaica called me for 15 years, I'll play for 15 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If America called me, I was talking to my friends about that. I was like, yo, like, what would you pick? Like, if you're a professional and like you have dual citizenship, as I think all three of us do. Like, do you pick your parents' home country? Do you pick America? Like, do you go like the cultural like shout out to the family route, or do you go like my career is probably better if I ball out for USA route? What would you do? Like if it was like Juan is like the most sought after center back in the world, and like
what do you mean? This guy is a number 10 now.
Oh yeah, that's true. Whatever you want to play, you're sought after, and America wants you and Spain wants you. Like you have a chance to play for both. It's not like sit on the bench for Spain.
Yeah,
and
you know what he's doing.
I'm going to the better team.
He said, "Viva España."
I'm going to the team that's going to give me the opportunity to win a World Cup.
All right, teams are equal.
Yeah. I don't know. That's tough.
I know.
What
would you do?
Tough.
Somehow Haiti and USA are the same level of team. Who do you pick?
What do you mean somehow? Like you don't think that would be possible?
I was also gonna say somehow Jamaica and USA are the same level for mine too. But our U17 team is killing it. We're balling. I hope they keep them.
That would be hilarious if I played for Haiti though. I would not be able to communicate with any of my teammates.
Yeah, no, but soccer sounds universal.
Like that'd probably be better for someone.
You can
like
communicate with Derek. And
You know what's funny though? You say that. I went to Africa when I was younger. I went to Ivory Coast and they speak French. I literally
privilege.
That's not how that happened. We'll get into that about how that happened. That's such a weird story. But either way, like we were staying at this kid's like house and he's French, and like we just played soccer every day and just kind of like figured it out. Like,
no, that's true. I played soccer in France for
like France
a couple of weeks.
And privilege.
Yeah, it was all right.
Wealth and privilege. He was on the French.
It was better that I didn't understand. It was better that I didn't understand the kids,
football.
Yeah, they were calling him a smelly American.
No, I heard a lot of stupid American. I heard a lot of that.
But speaking about the national team, though, I feel like playing on the national team is like one of the biggest privileges that you can have.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's like you representing like your whole country, and it should be solely based off of performance-wise. Like, if you're performing well and you deserve to be there, it doesn't matter if you're 18 years old or you're 40 years old. I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, like coaches think about the future and stuff, but, you know, for the national team, it's not like you playing for a club team. Like, you might only get one opportunity to ever play for your national team at a certain level. You know what I mean? All right, for instance, biggest representation over, like, age doesn't matter. Look at Danny Alves. Look at Thiago Silva. You know what I'm saying?
Look at Danny Alves. What?
We'll get into that. But like,
go ahead. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, why can't Ramos play at 36 years old for the Spain national team? Like,
I will say that like kind of like what we talked about Ronaldo, what we talk about all the time. The number one thing is like the team, right? A well-run team. The team is the biggest thing. No player is bigger than that. Mm-hmm. So I could understand that like maybe Ramos is better than someone, but is that the best thing for the team having him around? Like when you even look at like Team USA, right? The dream team. Isaiah Thomas was arguably the best point guard in the league, right? Mm-hmm. But so many people hated him on that team.
He met the criteria, but he wasn't chosen.
There you go.
That's what he said in The Last Dance.
And it's true, though. He was like arguably the best point guard in the league. Well, they say he's not the only one. There's a lot of, you know.
Yeah, everyone didn't like him. But it doesn't matter who likes you if Michael Jordan don't like you.
But that's what I'm okay. That's what I'm saying. Is that like talent-wise, should he have been on that team? Of course. But would that have been best for the chemistry? Yeah. Is that what's best for the team? No. So like talent-wise, Sergio Ramos, he's probably. I still think he's probably one of the best Spanish center backs in the world right now. But if that's what they believe is not best for the team, like that's what it is going forward. And it sucks because you'll see a lot of players. The same thing is like, all right, we all play college soccer, right? There's probably some players you look at and you're like, really? This is the guy that you got playing over me? This is the guy you got playing over him? This guy, and like saying that's best for the team or not is one thing, but understanding that like the coach has the ultimate power and they're making the team and their vision, you know, sometimes they don't choose the people who we think are probably, you know, the best players not always playing, which is ridiculous in my opinion a lot of times. But
that's what I was going to say. Like, you can be informed, but if I want to play a certain style and you just don't fit into that, I mean, you just don't fit into it.
Of course.
Tell you. But no, it is something very prestigious. Like, it should be taken into account. That's why I think the coach, if you picked him to be the coach, then it's his decision. You know what I mean? Like, that is also an honor to be the coach of your national side. So, which is why I don't like international coaches for national teams. I don't know if that sounds crazy, but I don't like it. You doing this for a check? I just don't like it.
You're saying
I don't like it.
Like
I'm not saying it shouldn't be a thing. I just don't like it.
That's representing a country isn't that nationality, right? That's
like Jamaica had a Brazilian coach.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Care about
I think winning. We need a non-American coach for the U.S. national team.
Oh no! But the thing is, America's the only place where you can have a coach whose parents are born in Brazil or Mexico or Peru or Ecuador, and he's an American. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not normal. That's why I think America should have the best soccer team in the world. You can put together like the silkiest team you want, the most kick and run team you want, the most over the top team if you want. Shout out Over the Top podcast. Like you can put whatever you want together, bro. Like I don't.
America should just start recruiting the top players from all over the world. Just be like, yo, you want a U.S. passport? We got you.
But like,
go to the U.S.
Bro, they're already here.
We should do.
They're already
and then make bad money off of them.
They're already here. Like we have wicked first generation kids balling, going to play soccer in college, and then go get a job. Like they could put together a bod side, bro, made of purely whoever they want, literally.
Let me ask you something. Do you think college soccer is conducive with player development? Do you think most players leave a better player after going through college soccer?
I don't know enough. I've only been to one program.
Depends on the program.
My experience is I've only been to one program.
I mean, I hope that like
I'm sure if you
when
go
you
to
come in at 18, you're hopefully a little better when you're 22.
You come into Syracuse soccer, I'm sure you're a better player.
The thing is,
I don't know.
I think they do
true.
get better.
I mean, that kid went to the Prem. Was he Prem level when he
won?
Well, no, I'm just saying. Like,
but do they maximize their potential? That's the thing.
I don't know, but I would like to think that if you're at a place where like a lot of money has been invested into this program, you have quality coaches that have either played overseas or played in the MLS. Like I would assume you leave a better player.
But they're not.
I'd like to think.
I don't think so.
I can't answer that. Is what I'm saying.
Well, I just don't think so because of college soccer is based on winning, right? Where like most 18 to 22 year olds around the world, like you want to win, but it's more based on the player development to make it to the first team, right? A college soccer coach is like, if I'm coaching at like say UConn, right, a big school, let's just use for example, or UNC, like I'm making my livelihood on being the coach of this team. So if I just like park the bus and try to score off set pieces and win every game 1-0, like that's job security. That's food on like my family's table versus like, oh, let me get the best players. Like let me try to play tiki-taka, right? Because then you might make some mistakes. Then you might end up losing some games, like, and you're not even keeping the players that long. Like the longest you could have a player is 4 years. Like, that's a pretty short cycle.
Okay, so my rebuttal to that would be, if I see a high school player and I have a junior center back, I'm a center back, and I see that high school player and I'm like, you can be better than this guy in 2 years, and I need you in 2 years, and I can develop you into that player. I think that's the mindset of some coaches. Like, I can develop this guy into what I need him to be. Some people are like, you're who I need you to be right now. Some people are like, you have the tools that I need you to have for you to be the player I need, and this guy's aging out, so if I can you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's in your best interest to develop a young player if your goal is winning.
I think a lot of times you don't even have the time. I mean, obviously a bigger program, you'll have
4
more
years
coaches.
Is a long time.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think you're going strictly off your experience where you're like, I made me better. My will to train on my own, my dedication to my game is what made me better. But maybe if you were at a different program where like people were like, hey Nick, are you eating X, Y, and Z that we like planned for you this week? Like, are you doing X, Y, and Z?
I'd be interested to talk to like a current Division I soccer player at a big program.
Yeah, like,
but I've talked to a few Division I players
goals or whatever. Like,
it's interesting. And I remember, you remember our coach at Westchester for a little bit. He said to me once, this is when we were like seniors in high school. He's like, I hate college soccer. And he played at St. John's and did some coaching at St. John's. And he was like, I hate college soccer because all it is coaches taking like the most talented players in America and like coaching the talent out of them. And it wasn't until I left that I could understand why someone would say that. Hopefully that's changed. Hopefully, that's just more of his experience, maybe a little of my experience, but I could see why they would say that.
I think that just goes to
maybe individual experience.
No. Also, just how like plain white bread American soccer. Like they coach you into that box,
right?
Because like the best players in the country don't play college soccer, that like type of soccer on the teams that they get scouted from. Some of them teams is look at Manhattan PSG. They don't play college soccer. They be balling. Like, they put the ball together properly. They put passes together. They move the ball properly. From what I remember, I'm 26, so who knows what they look like now. It's just a bunch of 16-year-olds. But still, like, from what I remember back then, if they're still the same, they move the ball properly. Gotchi, they move the ball properly. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain Red Bulls Academy, they move the ball properly. And then they get to college, and then they're like, yo, forget all that. Kick it and run.
The game is just, like... It's just so strange at the college level because like everything like is like 1,000 miles per hour. It's like relax, like you can slow the game down and still play well. You know what I mean? You don't have to have the game going at like 2,000 miles per hour. You know what I'm saying?
Who can slow the game down though?
The players.
But do you have the players? Because like you have that mindset. Do you have 11 people with that mindset or that skill level?
That's the issue.
Can I get 11 people with that skill level? Can I get 5? Can I get 8? You know what I'm saying? You got to work with what you can get.
8 is enough.
That's where recruiting comes in too. So it's a lot. Like you can criticize all day, but I'm sure if we were head coach, assistant coach, and athletic director at a school, it'd be a little harder. You know what I'm saying? If we had more context, we'd definitely have a different perspective.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's an interesting conversation though. If college soccer is conducive to being a professional, or just being a better soccer player, I guess is a better question.
I don't think it optimizes those players at all. Like, think about it. You play the least amount of soccer you've ever played in your life by you playing
That's
college.
True. We're
the
used
season's
to playing
like 3
games.
months long.
We're literally used to playing 2 games a weekend the whole year with 3 practices in between and, like, not having an issue. Sometimes if you play high school soccer, you have 2 practices on, like, the same day 3 times that week. Like, and then we're not, like, dying. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Maybe it isn't conducive because you can't.
You had 2 practices on the same day?
Yeah. So, like, I played high school and club. So, like, I'll go, like, from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
Oh, I thought you meant, like, the high school had, like, 2 practices on the same day.
3 o'clock to 5 o'clock is, like, high school practice. And then my club practice starts at 6 anyway. So, 6 to 8 or whatever, 8:39, and then you go home. But, I don't know. It's a good. We'll definitely revisit that. I think that's another one we can get into deeper once we do that college soccer segment or little side cast or whatever. I don't even think it should be a side cast, but I genuinely want to do that. We should do like
just a full podcast,
like
just
20
like
minutes tops, maybe like 10-15 minutes tops, just like weekly videos on just like college soccer advice. We can get different people. We know 1,000 college soccer players. We can get them to record something and give their little 2 cents and definitely try to help this new crop, this younger generation of soccer players.
Yeah, because social media, we didn't have social media really when we were growing up.
You know what I'm saying? So they have a lot more resources.
Now they have the power to like look up anything. You know
exactly. So
like,
why not have
we
it
didn't
out
have
there
you. We didn't really have. I wasn't really using YouTube that much.
We are quite literally older than YouTube.
Yeah.
Like so.
When I was in high school, even I wasn't really using.
Oh
YouTube.
no, I was deep into the YouTube Illuminati conspiracies in high school. Yeah,
that's on you.
That's on me.
Yeah, I was deep into the YouTube conspiracies. Playing soccer.
I wasn't worried about anything else.
Damn.
Nick was obsessed with these gals.
I was still bad, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. What were you doing? You sure you was playing soccer?
You know, the lag gets a little busy sometimes.
Hey, baby. Nah, man. This has been another good podcast. I think this one was really good this week. Again, thank you for joining us. Whether you're watching this week, next week, a year from now, 2 years from now, thank you for watching. Yeah. We really appreciate it. If you're watching this right now, you're at the end of the podcast. So shout out to you, man.
And I just want to say another congratulations to U.S. Women's National Team for winning the She Believes Cup. That's, another one under our belt. So
we got good. All 7. So
it feels good. It feels good.
How many teams are in that?
Whoever America invites to come lose.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
another trophy.
Just a lot of losers and one winner. You know how it goes.
You see it. We're out. Nah, man. It's been a great pod, yo. We out. We out of here. Wrap the pod, yo. My G. It's been great. Ken Visuals, the greatest cameraman of all time. Y'all won't see him, but y'all will know his work.
Coolest cameraman on the planet.
You get me. We're out of here.